So in seventh grade, I took a sex ed class. I wanted to get the principal award, so I had to not just ace the class, but I had to go above. So we're talking about 110%, 120. And yes, I mean what I said. I took the class. I watched the birth video. I saw the pictures. I looked at it. They're like, "Can you find the spot?" I'm like, "I would find everything, bro." You know what I'm talking about. The vulva.
That's the beginning of the
so
podcast. That's the
so
beginning.
with all that,
You know how I cut into the beginning? That's the
yeah,
beginning.
you can flip. You take that shit. Yeah,
Go
get
ahead. Sorry.
everybody in.
Continue.
This will be the first minute. Let them enjoy it.
An early podcast, wireless monitoring was good for 1 week, and then these headphones died.
What happened?
My headphones, they're really great. They were called MIFO, stands for Make It Fully Optimal.
Oh, so do you need
They were like
actual
50 bucks.
Ethos?
I'm not gonna use your earphones. Thank you though, but that's kind of gross to me.
Okay.
They're really great. They lasted now a year and a half. But I guess when you go at a certain level of microphone or headphone,
Yes, dog.
wireless headphone, they just don't. There's like a time limit that they have.
My apples have been with her for 5 years. No, you're right. I used to. Oh my. Oh, they're not two. I forgot what they're called. My first pair of wireless headphones lasted about 3 years, and
Yeah,
then I lost them because they didn't have a cover for it. It was just you can just throw them in.
yeah. Real
But
quick, my first. We'll go back to this because I do want to talk about this. It's kind of nice. I like this conversation, but
I
my
like headphones. I'm not gonna lie. Those have actually been really my personal things this year.
me too. The very first note on this whole podcast note is big caps. Do the intro because I've forgotten
What is the intro though?
just the intro. There's any intro, but I have it written down here. But before I do the intro, the first episode. Do you know that we introduced ourselves about 4 times?
I'm pretty sure we did it numerous times. I know for a fact we did it numerous
Because I said
times.
at one point, I was like, "Did you introduce yourself?" You're like, "Yes." I was like, "Do it again." Like I made you
Yeah.
do it. We did it like 3 or 4 times. We introduced ourselves.
It's because we knew that we were gonna edit a lot of things, but I didn't really know what we were gonna edit, or at least what you were actually gonna go sit down and edit.
Yeah.
I think most of it was just making sure that the audio was correct rather than actually looking at the video and see
Speak,
what needed to be chopped off.
speaking of, I think you're gonna get closer to your mic. Well,
You gotta,
you can move your mic closer to you
I was stretching my legs up. Okay, and then I'm move a
because
little
that cover on
closer.
it's gonna stop a lot of volume coming through.
Yeah, has it improved?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So yeah, for the first one, we had no idea what
Just
we were
talk
gonna
directly
do.
into it. So
Yeah, for the
intro.
first one, we had no idea.
Hello. I'm gonna read it. Ready? Hello and welcome to the See You Waiter Bitches podcast, where we talk about the drama of the restaurant industry, but not the who or the where because it doesn't really matter. I'm Dylan. This is Jason.
You could actually add some like punch to that instead of sounding so fucking monotone. Now, Jason, which camera are focused on? The main camera?
No, your
I'm
camera is
Jason.
right here,
Yeah, but it's not aimed at me, is it?
and
Oh, now it is.
you moved, so I gotta fix it. Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah.
that's mine. Mine is.
Yeah, I was not. Yeah, I was not here for the preparation. I was making sure this dog was
I
okay.
got kind of a wide angle. I forgot to change the lens out.
That's fine. We'll fix it in post.
Now I'll just stick
That
with
that
the
is
wide
not you
angle for
can't
now.
fix. I'm more fun with the wide angle at the moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna wide your angle. I'm not even moving the camera. We're doing a lazy podcast today.
Lazy because we've been screwed over numerous times for the last 2 weekends.
Oh
We
yeah.
were trying to get it going.
All right, so let me do a real one. Hello and welcome. Oh, I'm not on camera.
Focus.
Hello and welcome to the See You Waiter Bitches podcast, where we both talk about the restaurants that we've worked at, but not really the who or the where. No specifics, because it doesn't really matter.
Yes, we don't want legal team on us.
Nothing about legal. We're not doing anything illegal
Mhm.
or moral, anti-moral,
We're just talking about our lives being
immoral.
the bus boys.
Bus boys and waiters bitches.
Yep.
Episode 3, as we've been discussing for the last 10 minutes, we started a little late. Oof, that lens is gross. I'm never going to use this lens again, but for today, we are. I might change it. Actually, I'll change it between
Because the
podcasts.
light's not on.
Oh. All right.
Okay.
So yeah, I bought those headphones probably a year and a half, maybe even 2 years ago, but they were only $50. But they've been great, and they work far distance kind of as much as Bluetooth can, and I guess it's just when you get over a certain level of price is when they start lasting a long time. Because that's like the second pair I bought in probably 3 years. I think the first one lasted about a year. These ones have been about a year and a half to 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain brands of it. I mean, it's no difference than like original wired headphones. Like you buy those cheapest pair, they don't work, they don't sound right, and then you buy a decent pair, and then they last you for what the 2 years you need them for.
Mhm,
And then of course
mhm.
you got the big companies for it. The big Apple, as one some will call it. And at that point, you're spending almost half a fucking grand just for a pair of headphones. But you know they're gonna last you a long time. And if they die, it's because of your fault. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have water this time, we have mic covers this time. Mine's a little bent from being in the box in the bag.
Mm,
That I've actually had that. I meant for to use it for this whenever I go record someone else's podcast. I didn't want them breathing on my
it's nasty.
mic thing. So that's brand new though. I haven't used it. It's
Who,
just
who breathes on this?
when you talk, when you breathe, you spit in it, you breathe in it. These
Okay.
are supposed to be like, oh, I'm sorry for the audio.
That
These are
makes
like
more
per
sense.
person things. You just buy these. That way you trade them out. You're supposed to. I'm sure people don't.
No, they
Um,
don't. The part expensive as shit. I only had
no,
that
no,
little
they're
filter thing. That's it.
well. I guess they kind of are. For one of them, it's probably like $6. That's kind of
Yeah, that
expensive.
adds up if you're trying to have 10 people in one group.
Jesus, yeah, that's right. Because have you seen those giant podcasts where there's like 12 people on one of them?
Yeah.
It's usually one guy berating like 17 women.
I got mad. My fucking all my social media has started posting its own like versions of like podcasts and everyone's coming in. And I'm like, first of all, I don't even watch to begin with. And second of all, I did not advertise this podcast in any way. So I don't know how the fuck y'all picked that up so quickly.
Is your phone right next to you?
Yeah, I
Oh,
know. Listen, it
there you go.
doesn't. Yeah, it does its own
You're
stupid
listening.
advertising.
I like our background today. I chose it today.
Yeah, it's nice.
I wish I could go
A
somewhere
little
like that.
late because winter is almost over, but no, I'm just kidding. We're still stuck. Yeah, we're still
February. We're
stuck
in
in
the
it.
middle of
Yeah, we're in the
February and it's
middle.
hotish. I'm sweating right now a little bit.
That was your choice. I don't know why you kept the jacket on.
Fashion.
That's true. You don't deny fashion. That that's every like dead person's summer's dream.
What?
The big jacket, the nice coat, and the summer heat that kills us.
So I don't know. I'm probably not gonna talk about that because it's long gone. I mean, maybe I'll
Is it what I think it is? Is it the walkout or is it?
the chef?
Yeah.
No,
No, not the chef, but the
that's
cook.
still
No, not the chef. The cook.
he was gonna be a chef. Yeah, he was replacing
What?
chef. You didn't know that?
He okay. Well, first of all, he was not gonna survive. There is
No.
no way you're
But no, that
surviving.
wasn't
If
it.
he
I was
was
gonna
supposed
say
to,
so this happened before we started the podcast even, but I wanted to bring it up. Maybe like the week of. Jason got a phone number. That's
well,
my
for
note.
me. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, that was nothing.
And it was that's what I thought. It was nothing. I didn't think it was because nothing. It's been like 3 weeks, four.
No, yeah, I had my. Yeah, I did what I did my thing, and that's it. We're done.
You did.
What?
What does that
Yeah.
mean?
I took her out. We had food. We had drinks. Then I gave my.
Did you have
Then
banging?
you don't have to say that part. Keep that portion personal at best.
Speak up.
And then
Speak
the
into the mic.
second one. Okay, yeah, yeah. But then the second one was the one I think you're the one you saw was
Oh,
the
there's
two ladies
two.
at the booth. Yeah.
I only knew about the one. The girls at
Oh
the booth.
yeah, yeah. That one didn't last long. I got it confused. I think her friend was the one that was staying here, and then she was the one that went back home, and I was like, fuck.
So you got the wrong girl's number.
Yeah, well, not really. I wanted to talk to the girl. That's why I got her number.
Oh, I see.
But the small
You got the
minute of
story mixed
communication
up.
I had, yes, was
Ah.
that. Yeah.
Well,
But I do know another reason to go to a certain location now.
go ahead. Which location?
Is
I
it
mean the
the one?
coordinates. Oh, well, you just gave it away. I'll
Yeah,
bleep
of
that
course.
out
Why?
because then you. That's where she lives. No,
No, it's losing the generator. I'm talking about the whole ass location
I'll still
there.
bleep it out just in case.
Oh yeah, go ahead. You can bleep it out.
Did you
Oh,
did you watch?
really?
Do you watch our episodes?
No, I did not watch it.
Did you watch the first one?
No,
So you haven't watched any of them. I
no.
mean, the only reason I've watched it because I edited it. I don't really
Yeah,
want to
you
watch
edited it.
it.
I didn't watch it. I
I
was
don't
like,
think you
I'm here for.
should.
I was here for it.
Yeah, you were here for.
There
I
was
don't
no
think you should.
reason.
Yeah. Except for the visuals that pop up right between us. That's the only thing you didn't see.
Yeah, the only difference is if you actually said I heavily edited it, and then I would be like, okay, well then I
Oh,
have to sit
I
down
did a
and
little bit.
watch it. But yeah,
I did a little bit. Like I did the Jason's catchphrases.
oh my gosh, oh the skid, yeah, everyone really likes that.
I can't
I
remember
heard
where it is.
someone else. Oh yeah, I heard the managers are saying it now. It's really catchy by accidental. mind you. I didn't want it to catch on.
This is all I did. I just put it in the middle.
Is it the second episode or is it? Oh
Second
yeah,
episode, yeah. This is the one that just came out.
that's really nice. Oh wait, poor guy. That was that filter didn't do him any justice.
I think I need to brighten up the podcast a little bit. Like that's good now, but it was dark, which I kind of liked the
I
dark.
think the light was off for that one.
No, this one?
Yeah, right.
Oh, it could have been.
Yeah, I think
Um.
either that or have. I know we talked about that light being important because it actually lights up the room.
Oh, dude, when you Google "see you waiter bitches," we're the first Google.
Good. That should be the first. Yeah.
I don't know if it's just on mine. I'll go into incognito mode and see if it is, but yeah, the second I don't know if it's so the second one I tried using a thumbnail, and now we got a lot less views. I don't know if that's because or it just happened to be. It also came out a day later, so there's a bunch of variables.
Oh yeah, it should be weekly.
Yeah, but I did this one 4K, and so it took about 17 hours to upload on my Wi-Fi. So
Oh.
I started uploading on Sunday, or no, it took longer than that. I started uploading on Sunday night,
Oh, then it just
and it
pops
took
in.
all through Monday, and then halfway to Tuesday it uploaded. So 12 on Tuesday instead of Monday this time. So all of our social media is wrong. Me saying, "Oh, we post on Mondays." Or
Yeah.
12 on that.
Well, our best, our main objective is to get a steady pace of this, and hopefully have a certain day where all this comes out.
Yeah, once a week
Because
is,
I do forget YouTube has that moments where it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna make sure you get all you want, and then the Wi-Fi kicks in and it's like, yeah, we can get it all uploaded. It's gonna take us a good couple of hours. I like how the camera moves a little bit.
yeah, well, it has the stabilization in it too. It's a really nice camera. It was $400.
That's $400. My
Yeah.
gosh, you don't see me spend that kind of money.
Well, I got it for 395, so $400, but it's when you buy them new, they're $700. Sony makes expensive cameras. I don't know why. Like that's not worth $700 to me. It's just about worth. Actually, no, it's not even worth four. I thought I was buying a different camera
I don't
for
care.
slow
I mean, I
motion.
spent $100 on a figure, so I'm good.
Oh, okay. Oh wait, how happened?
Okay, so then back to the main objective. Did you want to actually talk about the cook, or
Yeah, I
do you
mean,
do
I
you
have
have
more info
another
on the cook
story
than you do a little
before?
bit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you got more info on it
So
because
let's see.
I've only seen the actual ending where it all went down,
Okay.
and that was it.
So you tell me what you think, and then I'll tell you how it went.
Yeah. So my understanding of it is that he doesn't know how to work uh, a corporate line along with a corporate kitchen because apparently he bought his own utensils, he bought his own utilities, he bought everything of his own. He brought it, and they were like, "Well, we can't really use it. We have to use corporate, brands, corporate names, and all that." And that just pissed him off. And on the third day, apparently he just walked out right before the shift actually started, I think, or about like the first hour of the shift starting. He grabbed all his stuff and he left. On a side note, I heard that the other reason why he walked out is apparently someone took his apron and he didn't like that someone took it, even though they thought it was dirty. He said he didn't care that it was dirty. It was his for the day, and so
That's what he said. I didn't
that
hear
is what
that.
I heard.
It's-
There's no such thing as a battery savers, are there? When it's not in use, it just stops working.
That'd be a good invention because one of the reason batteries age is because
They're
all
always
the
in use.
electrons. So maximum efficiency of a battery is about when it's at 50%. Because when it's full, I forget exactly how it works. When it's full, there's too many. It's why you can charge from 0 to 80% real fast, but then 80 to 100% takes long time.
Yeah.
Because when they're oh, it's like think of it like a parking lot, and there's only one entrance and one exit of the parking lot, and when and you have to go to the back of the parking lot to park first. You have to do it here, and then you have to go to the front. So
Mhm.
or maybe you have to go to the front of the parking lot first, so
Yes.
that the more it fills up, the longer it takes to get to the back of the parking lot. It's like a battery. So
Okay.
maximum efficiency is if you are using a battery at 50% and charging it. So like people are leaving and entering the parking lot the same rate.
Okay.
That's why I just learned that you have to, if you wanna have your phone battery last the longest time, which is probably why the headphones died because it must be cheaper lithium batteries, and so when I just keep them in the charging case the whole time, so they're always getting battery, so that's must be why they're dying. But anyway,
Oh,
to
that's
keep your phone
right.
in maximum efficiency, technically, you should charge it at, like, 30% and unplug it at around 60, but that's not feasible for everyone's day.
No, that just sounds stupid.
Efficiency.
I know efficiency.
It's not
I
always smart.
The irony in efficiency always makes me laugh too. Efficiency, efficiency, efficiency. It's the way the world works. Well, not really. It falls apart quickly once you kind of get into it. My favorite example of it would always be Brooklyn Nine-Nine's episode. They actually had an episode of a captain who's literally just the embodiment of efficiency. And literally within 5 minutes, you watch it just crumble and you watch everyone fall apart.
I haven't seen all the episodes. I've
It's
seen
a
up
good
to
show.
when
I
they were
recommend
canceled.
it.
When they were canceled that one time,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
seen up to that.
Yeah, they got canceled and then they came back immediately.
Yeah.
'Cause
I posted a meme about it.
why?
You remember the episode where he's playing guitar to try to get
Yeah.
and he's just like, "Dunna, dunna, dunna."
Yeah.
I posted that. It was like fans of Brooklyn Nine-Nine and then Fox executives or something was sitting in the
Oh,
chair.
yeah.
It was a meme. It was funny.
Getting their
I think I
attention.
posted it to TikTok.
Yeah, that was a very fun moment.
Anyway, going back to the tangent. Oh, man, I thought I was on the wide for that. You didn't see me strumming and screaming. So, yeah, I was excited to have a new chef, right? So when I saw him sitting at the table doing some paperwork, and I saw he had his knife with him, I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool. I have time. I'll sit down and talk to him." I was like, "Hey," I said, what I was kind of cringe about it maybe, but I walked up to him, I sat down, I was like, "A man of culture, I see," pointing at his knife. I kind of was saying it as a joke. He was confused immediately. He was like, "What?"
What?
So I was like, "Oh, your knife. That I'm guessing that's your knife?" He was like, "Oh, yeah," and he started talking to me about it. He was cool, I thought. Maybe I'm not that good of a judge of character. Anyway,
No one's gonna keep going.
that was day I think that was the 2nd day, and then he that was the first day he was allowed in the kitchen because all the paperwork gone through because he had worked for the same company before years ago.
Oh, yes. Oh, okay.
He worked at our restaurant before,
Oh,
but
oh,
for a month,
well,
only a month,
yeah.
and then he got sick, and he was out for a month. So he was like, "Oh, I'll just you guys can just take me off the roster." That's basically how that went. But he wasn't fired, so he could be rehired perfectly fine.
Mhm.
Um, and then so this time round, I guess it was his 3rd day. He was in the kitchen. I didn't hear about someone taking jean
His apron?
his apron. I mean, it was made out of jean, by the way.
Well, that was the thing, though. It wasn't really his apron. It was the company's apron. It's just that he wanted to use it for the day, and they just got mad that someone tossed it, which
What
I was
company's
like,
apron?
"No, it's the one we wear
No, it wasn't.
constantly." No, that's what I mean. It wasn't his actual apron. It was just a company's apron that
Oh,
he
someone
just
tossed
happened.
it.
Yeah.
That was what he got upset about?
Yeah.
I thought someone tossed his apron.
No, no, no. I was told that it was the actual company apron. They told him just to wear hours because we're gonna be doing, wouldn't be. They were gonna teach him some other stuff, and then it want.
Yeah.
I don't know. They had some reason behind it, and then yeah, just one of the other cooks just tossed it because they thought it was. I mean, it was dirty, and they saw no reason for it to be in the line, so they just tossed it, and that's what aggravated him.
Are you sure it wasn't his?
I was only mentioned that it was the company brand one. That was it. I wasn't sure if it was actually his own.
That's
I
weird.
did not think he actually would bring his own
Yeah, he
apron,
had an
but
overall cut off, like a cut off overall.
oh,
So it had like a pocket right here.
I don't think he was fit for the job. And I
Well,
mean,
no, so it was
good.
fine. Like I
First
like
of all, good for him for being prepared, but
because this
that's,
happened like a week after I brought the knife in, and all that went down. Which, by the way, there's more to that story.
oh yeah, it
So,
did.
so I was like, we're from the same deck of cards. He brought his own stuff in. I was like, I want to have my stuff in the kitchen. That'd be cool. Use my knife in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like talking to him about his knife and stuff. Hold on, sorry. I just put my head into your camera, so that didn't work at
Yeah,
all.
do you need a sneeze? What was
I have to
that?
clean my nose now, but I don't wanna
Ew.
not out, but, like, it's itching. Anyway, I gotta stop touching my face so much.
No, we have napkins over there. We
Yeah,
have
but then we gotta
tissues.
stop the podcast, the most important podcast in the world.
In 2 seconds. Regardless, go back. Like, okay.
My ears just
Seriously.
popped. No, so I guess long story short, because it's not really that big a deal. He left, but the issue was so he left in the middle of the shift because he got upset. He couldn't use his stuff, and so he got too upset. Not upset, I guess he did, but he's just like he was frustrated that he couldn't use his stuff. That's what happened. I don't know why I'm defending him so much because then what he said next was kinda strange.
Wait, am I supposed to wear this?
Well, it's too late now. I'm wearing the pants. Hey, we matched.
Okay, we'll be okay then.
We matched.
Yeah, we'll live. We'll edit
Can I
it
see
out.
you? Oh, fuck.
Yeah, it's right there.
Damn.
Don't worry.
I don't wear any brands on purpose.
Just put a big black block right in front of me and just leave it there.
More editing.
Just leave it for the rest of the whole video.
I can
You
see on this camera too is the issue.
want to take it? Oh, I'm wearing this though. Or
Alright,
actually,
just
they're
put
more
it it doesn't
friendly. Yeah,
matter.
they're more friendly.
It doesn't matter. You know what? Just put this right here. Advertisement.
All
Anyway,
the ads. They're not. No one's gonna
we keep
fucking
getting on
care.
these tangents. Anyway, so what he's I don't know if I should even say this because it's not good. But as he was clocking out, I was next to him and he said this place is a I don't know if you heard this.
Is it a cesspool? Is it a tangent?
He said this
Angry?
place is a slave camp for C-list cooks. A slave camp.
This mean
I'll
this
say
is.
it again if it's bleeped out.
I will say that is not the best choice of words in that location at all.
Slave camp.
That is actually pretty wild.
That was his
That
last
is
words
pretty
to me.
wild. But also, I would agree as to why he would say that, not the actual words, but
The
because
sentiment. Not even that. I don't want to agree with the sentiment.
the first no, because the first day he was talking and the executive chef came in and said, "Hey, just let you're being really loud. The guests outside can hear you."
Oh
And
yeah, I remember that.
that was the moment I was like, I don't think he's gonna stick around.
That me
Not
too.
because of what he said,
Me too.
but because of how angry he really got at that. Because he had that energy of like they're trying to silence me. I'm like, bro, no, you're talking about fucking. That's not appropriate in the workplace. Let alone where you're talking to and where it's happening.
Yeah.
And yes, you were being loud, and it was a full house. You
The
had
chef
people
does like a
outside.
quiet kitchen.
Yeah. Well, it's because he had. My guess is that his voice isn't loud enough, or isn't as loud as it used to be. So he likes a quiet kitchen because of that.
We just like to focus whenever
You
it's
know.
something's too loud, it's too
But
many
yeah.
noises. Well,
But yeah.
not noises, but like because kitchens are loud, but like people or waiters talking or runners talking.
Yeah, and most of the time it's just nonsense. So
Nonsense. Yeah.
if you really need, like, if you have to focus on making sure the food's hot and ready and delivered as it is intended, then yeah, you know the focus. There's no point of having two people talk behind you or yell constantly just for the hell of it.
Yeah. The most often people get sent out the kitchen is because they're talking, just having idle conversation about not work in loudly in the kitchen.
Yeah, and plus, who knows how he was taught in the kitchen? Who knows? Because some people can survive that. Some people are fine with that. Others were taught in the best kitchens and they take that out into the world.
Did I write down? I think because I wrote his. I think I did it in the podcast notes. His exact words. Did I write it here?
We don't need to repeat it. I
Yeah.
can tell you that. We don't need to repeat it.
It might be bleeped out again, but slave camp for seedless cooks. I wrote it right here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave that one in there.
Yeah, that was I had a feeling that it was gonna be something like that because he just did not jive with anybody. I mean, everyone else tried to say something, but he did not. He didn't meld with anyone. Um, I will say this: the funny part is he did come back,
Oh yeah, so that was the
and
second part of the story.
we were
So
slightly
his last
frightened.
words to me were seedless cooks and that. And then I thought. And then about 10 minutes later, comes back, big old backpack and all, slumping in, and just he wasn't mad at me at all, so he just kind of acted normally. He was just like, oh, I forgot my shoes. And he walked back into the kitchen and grabbed his shoes. And all the cooks were like, man, I would have left those damn shoes. After
Yeah,
leaving like that, I
because
would never would have came back like that.
Yeah, no, we they all came in agreement. I was like, there was no reason for you to come back, even for shoes. This was not worth it at all. But another thing that made me laugh about it was when he walked in the kitchen, the boss was there. And the whole point of a boss is to make sure that everyone, like, no matter what situation is, no matter what feelings everyone has, he's supposed to make sure that it's all mellowed out in a certain way. So,
Which boss, manager or chef?
manager.
Oof,
So when he came back, the manager was like, "Oh, welcome back," as a lightly joke, and the
I didn't
guy
know.
who left was not happy to hear
I
that.
didn't know this part.
He was like, "I am not back. I'm here for my shoes." And I was like, first of all, don't you can't deepen your voice. Second of all, I'm gonna go leave. I don't like this. I
You
don't
were
like where
standing
this
around.
energy. No, I was there. No, I was food running. So I was there with them. So I was like, there's no reason for me to be here. I'm gonna go and check how many tables you have left. I didn't want to witness whatever could have happened because he walked in, heard the manager say that, and he paused and turned around. And I was like, oh,
Oh,
this this might turn this might turn very sour.
yeah, I don't think that
But
was a good idea. He seemed not stable, which is strange.
well, one of the other food when I was working with, bless her heart, I love her. She's so funny. Um, she was like, he might be, I don't know, this is touchy in any way, but she like he might be somewhat autistic. I was like, why is
He
that?
seemed like it, but it didn't. That's it. I mean,
And I was like, why is that? It was like, well, I mean, first sign is that he threw a fidget of all the things he can't use, and he tried to justify saying that every other kitchens he was allowed to use it. I was like, well, yeah, but this is corporate chain. This is the kind of the big
yeah,
leagues kind of thing. So they all have the brands that they have to use. And she was going back and forth about how like he kept irritating that none of his stuff was able to be used.
yeah,
And again, the last straw was that when he finally did take something from the kitchen and they tossed it out, he didn't like that.
yeah. I mean, I thought so, maybe, but like a
And
lower
so,
level
oh yeah, it could be. But I mean, that's the whole thing about it is that there's levels to these things. You know,
spectrum, might say
I guess I don't know what. Oh,
a spectrum. What? That wasn't a joke.
it wasn't to me.
Oh God. All right. Well,
My bad. My ass has been living on my own for 3 years. I forgot is not the damn company. It is an actual name.
oh well. Now I have to bleep the one you said because I said you said the company capital S. I said spectrum,
hmm
just the like a spectrum of people. So
Yeah,
I have to
and I
bleep yours.
completely have forgotten that
I have to bleep
is
that one.
not a company on its own. It is generally an actual term that people use. Yes, that is very correct. Yes, in the spectrum of the whole thing, there's levels to it. Some people
Bleep that
just
one.
have light versions of it. People are deep into it. But yeah, no, she was talking about how like he's probably in the middle. Because again, the main reason he walked out is that he could not use any of his stuff.
Yeah, that's
And I, for one, was slightly frightened. I was scared.
oh, yeah.
hmm
'Cause he came back or because he turned
The
around?
moment I saw him back, I was like, nah, my genetic kicked in. I was like, I'm gonna go.
My genetics. Did you walk out the kitchen?
Yeah, I almost grabbed the pretty one with me. I was like, you know what? They see both of us. We run. Everyone's gonna join in.
Well, you are food runners. I'm sure you're good at
So
running.
yeah, fuck yeah. I would kick in the genetics. I don't care.
You keep saying genetics.
I'll be using both if I have to. I don't care. I'll find a way to get out of there quickly. But that terrified me. Other than that, was there any other thing that you heard, or was that just
No,
the end of it?
you've now told me more than I knew
Oh, okay, but yeah, but that was the end of it all.
because I was out doing my job. Well, he
Yeah.
went in the kitchen because I wasn't gonna follow him.
Yeah.
I'm not
I was gonna
security.
leave my job if he stayed a little longer. I was not gonna stick.
Oh yeah. So this is like the number one note or number two note after do the intro.
Mhm.
I've already talked about the death of this podcast on last week's episode, and now it's happening. It's too late.
Hmm?
Jason's a waiter.
Oh. Yeah, they finally bumped me out, but my training doesn't start till next week.
I'm left alone here. Now it's just gonna be waiter's bitch and waiter.
Yeah. In
What
some
am I to
in
do?
in some categories, they would define this as dom and sub, but we're not like that. No? Okay. So to the next question.
I was just gonna let you sit in that for a while
I
because
know
I didn't like that at
I
all.
saw the camera. That's why I smiled at it. I know you were trying in time.
I didn't like that at all. That
But
that
yeah,
lens
they
is
did.
so shit, by the way. I have to change that lens
Yeah,
in the next one. We're
I
doing
know.
2
Yeah,
today. Oh, I guess that was a quick thing. We're gonna something's gonna happen. I don't know what yet, but
but
we still haven't figured this thing out. We're
oh yeah, the format. No, no, no. We're just jumbling the shit as we go.
because
Like
this
I
is
said.
episode 3. We're filming it the day before it's supposed to come out. I don't even know if I'm gonna have time to upload. Hopefully, I'm gonna do 1080 because I can't do 4K. So 2 of them are gonna be 1080. One of them is gonna be 4K. I but we're doing 2 today. That way we have time to that way I can edit this one, put it out next week, and by the time we film next week's, we might we're probably not gonna do 2 next week, huh?
No, it has to go back to one.
You
So
sure?
that probably might work early. Yeah,
We'll talk
no,
about
for
that.
next week. Yeah, next week I might I know I have to go in early a few shifts.
We'll talk
I have
about
no
that.
idea when though.
We'll talk about that. But,
But don't worry, I still got some stories to tell before I fully transition, and I'll be more than happy to tell some of them because they're aggravating at most.
no, I think it'll be a cool change in
But
dynamic. That's why that's why I started it when we did because I knew you were switching to waiter soon, and so I wanted to get
soon, the whole process started 6 months ago. I don't know why you stuck around so long.
it did not start 6 months ago.
It did,
You
yeah.
know, you started helping out at the bar 6 months ago. That's not what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, the whole process was like, hey, look, you don't believe that I know how to serve drinks. I can serve drinks. Put me in the bar and I will show you. After that, we can talk about being a waiter. They
That's what they
put
said?
me in, no, me.
Oh,
So then they put me in the bar for bar back to see if I can handle the training. Thank goodness I was with the two gentlemen who are main bartenders because one knows how to work the actual face to face the of being a bar. So I was able to absorb him and
customer service.
yeah, customer service and to show me, how to make drinks within like a minute or a minute and a half, how to get all those tickets going. The second one taught me how to work under stress. And God Almighty, I adore him. He's great. But it was a great working experience on that other guy. I think you know who
Did
I'm
you learn
talking
what not
about.
to do?
And I also learned what not to do.
When working under stress from him, I'm sure you learned what not to do, is the major which is honestly sometimes the best kinda lesson. Because if you just see everything to do, there's more mistakes you can make than seeing what not to do.
Yeah, because you have to understand that fine line of like, okay, well, I mean, obviously we're not allowed to do this kind of thing, so you don't do it. But if you are booked in a place with like 230 guests and you are completely backed up with 15 tickets,
Last night.
you already know like this is the line not to cross. So what we can do, let's move it around. Let's jerry rig it, whatever you want to say. This is the moment we can do it. This is the moment to see if this is how far we can push that limit.
And it's really weird, I don't know why they're doing this to you, because you have not gone down the normal path of being a waiter. Because
No, 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 I
one
have not.
waiter well, actually, like, 3 or 4 of them, they were runners, they hated it, they said, "Make me a waiter," and then they did.
Yeah,
And within
and
6 months, they were waiters.
well, I mean, they all three in their jobs. That's the only reason I haven't done it. It's because I mean, chalk it up to race or chalk it up to history. It's just that
What do you mean 2 of them are
me,
black?
me with I'm talking about me being Spanish.
Yeah, but you said talk it up to race, only one of them is white.
Yeah.
The rest
Okay. Well,
are
then can I mention mine?
oh,
Give it to me. Whenever I threatened my job, I was replaced immediately. So it was not one of those things where I was like I was gonna take it lightly. And also, second of all, I never really wanted to chalk it up into like actually forfeiting it. Not because I was scared of actually losing it, but mainly because I was like, well, that's something that I as a worker, I can probably hold that against any other corporate managers or anyone that might be above them if I ever needed it to be. And I'd rather keep that card when it really happens rather than just toss it at them knowing that it's not gonna do much of anything, you know? And so also for that, a couple of months ago too, who was that? I'm not he used to work as a server with us, but then he left. almost said he departed, like he went to the afterlife,
Yeah,
but
that's
he left. And the one other thing that I do remember is he did tell me, it was like, you haven't done serving in so long, you're practically new at this point. Even though you did sales as being a banker, none of that mattered. And he was right, because my version of sales was like planting seeds. Like, I don't get actually benefits till like 4 months after what I say. But he was like, just take the experience, write it into a resume, and then if it doesn't work out, at least you have the experience. But please don't say no. Even if you're scared, even if you think you're gonna fail, just pick anything up as you can go, because you have no idea what you can actually take with you. So you might as well be scared and then go along with it. And that's also why I love the. I don't know if this catchphrase is real, but I've been using it for myself, and I true. I'm a coin it for myself before someone else tells me exactly where I got it from. But another thing that I use, especially when I was at the bar, it was your skills will always outweigh your fears. So despite me not knowing what drinks are drinks, not knowing anything about the alcohol, not knowing vodkas, because I'm not a drinker to begin with. I don't really drink that often. I'll
don't
probably buy
partake.
a Tito's vodka, and that's about it, and just probably hold it with me for like 6 months. But in the bar, you're supposed to know every drink. You're
Yeah.
supposed to know it like the back of your hand, and you're supposed to also do it without thinking. It's all supposed to be second nature. Why? Because remember, this is the moment where consistency matters. This is the moment where training matters. This is the genuine moment where you can literally just go on autopilot and you won't have to worry about anything. You know?
That's why I was worried about being for a moment, I wanted to be a bartender there because they make more money, but then for me, whenever I work yeah.
Where's
No, they're not?
Yeah, they
They do.
they they do. Yeah, they do. I just like
Not than
doing
a
the air
waiter.
quotes. I
I
just
think
wanted to
waiters make
yeah, I
most.
just wanted to piss off any bartenders that happen to actually watch this. They do make some decent money.
It's the same reason I don't know if I wanna be a waiter yet, is that when I when I work so people say in like, when I was in high school and played soccer, people would always say, like, "Why would I try so hard? It's just high school soccer." But in my head, it's always been that never made any sense to me. I always wanted to do as high as I could, the best I could, because I'm not gonna be a professional soccer player. So this is the peak of what I'm gonna do in soccer, is high school soccer, so I'm gonna do the best possible. No one on my soccer team went on to play professionally or even after high school, I don't think, maybe a couple,
Mhm.
rec league and stuff, but that's the highest level you're gonna get in soccer. So why would you not do that the best you can? So for me, it's the same thing with being as a job. If I'm gonna be a waiter, I wanna know everything. I wanna learn everything every day. I wanna just do the I wanna be the best waiter. It's how I do this job. I wanna be the best waiter's assistant. I feel like no offense, but I feel like I am the best waiter assistant. Thoughts?
I'm not saying anything. You
No, so
go on.
anyway, it's just
We'll let the opinions of others dictate. I'm just kidding.
alright, so I'm the best waiter assistant. No, so I just it's not only that, like, I have to believe that to make myself feel like I do good at this job, I work like I am because this is the highest level like, what else am I doing? I'm not I'm filming stuff, but I'm splitting the work now between this job and that job, so at this moment in my life, I'm not doing anything else, so why would I not do this the best I can?
Yeah. And I agree with you. Not a lot of people have that mentality. And before anyone actually wants to leave a comment and be like, well, what about the pay and all that stuff? Our pay actually does reflect on our skills. This is kind of the moment. And it does, but not to that 100% degree. A server, that pay reflects on their skills.
Yes, server
Being a
so
server, that will 100%. Being a bartender, that will 100%
you and
reflect on your skills
you
and
and
your
I are
wage.
just under a livable wage.
Yes, we are buffers, as I mentioned before. We are just a support team that are supposed to support them in any way. But again, as support teams, it is our job to make sure that we support them.
Speaking
So
of
a
wages,
little bit of that matters, you know. Being the best that you can be in busing matters. And also, before people also ask, why does it matter? It's a busser job. Well,
It's
take
that it's
passion in your
yeah,
job,
it's the same thought as
and
I
no
was
matter
saying.
what you're
What else
doing.
am I
Yeah.
am I doing?
And exactly, what else are we really going to really be doing? Because trust me, our life goals are is not gonna be the bussers. It's not even probably gonna be in the restaurant world. Once our
Could be.
true goal, like once our dream in our life actually ends, and we finally get to follow our like a genuine dream, we'll probably be out of that whole thing altogether, or we'll
And then
probably
I'll
be
do that.
turned into a side job where we come in on the weekends or something like that. Why? To make a little extra money.
That's what I was thinking
But
about, like, because there's a lot of people who just do this as a side job, waiters.
yeah,
So I'm wondering, like, if I get into film and if it works out for me, would I quit this job? I'm thinking no, because I like the discount.
this guy I do like the discount too. But I can also work Mondays and they can call me off. Uh, but for me, like I already have my life plan set out, and for the next 2 to 3 years, I want to see it done. And being a server is required of that. Now, after 3 years, I have no idea. I could, after 3 years, if everything goes according to plan, I could probably just walk out, not care. But in these 3 years, I know for a fact I have to care. I have to care so much about this. I have to give so much love and so much attention to myself that I have to change myself into a better person so I can prove that my skills will help me with my money. Because again, yes, as a server and a bartender, profession and your skills reflects on the actual money. You know, and I know everyone's like, "Well, you should just get 5 tables with $25 tip." That's not how that works. We've had like $400 tables, and they're like, "Here for you," and they give you like a $5 bill, and you're just staring at them. And I was like, "You've been here since 6 o'clock. It is now 12, sir. This nothing justifies this at all." But these are the people we have to deal with, and these are the obstacles we have to deal with. That's why if we learn how to take care of multiple tables and give them the best um,
Service.
service, I was gonna say example, the best service that we can provide, well, then we have a better chance of actually, having a job that will pay our bills and our rent and have us be less stressful on life and whatever situation we're in.
Lovely. I'm just worried about not being good enough. That's why I'm not a waiter yet. But then it's hard to justify that because I see what waiters we've had in the past. Then again, they've all been fired now.
Well, I mean, they're two different jobs. I think if you actually genuinely want to see yourself improve, don't think that you're the best. Just think that there's always a sense of improvement that comes in, you know?
Yeah, I think people get confused when I say
Because
that I'm the best because I think when I say that I'm the best, they think that means I don't have to work any harder. The being the best doesn't mean you're perfect.
no, but there's no point in calling yourself the best if there's no physical entitlement that comes with it. No. Like in Dragon Ball, Goku
Oh
is
my
quote unquote the best, but he's not the best in any way. He's never given a title until the very end. And even then, that title was thrown out the window in 2 episodes.
I don't understand the reference, but
So the whole being the best thing is it doesn't matter. The only credential
of course it
it
matters.
matters. The only credential it gives is if other people justify it.
Well, no, because I don't care about what other people think in that sense. And I mean, in a
Exactly.
smaller sense, like I see the things that go on that make me think that I'm the best, and then I try to get better. I'm not saying I'm the best, so that's it. 'Cause I'm not saying the best ever. I'm saying in this restaurant, I'm the best one. But then how do I get even better at being the best? Like it doesn't mean I'm capped.
No, I know it doesn't mean that you're capped, but it doesn't make sense to call yourself the best, even if it isn't just one restaurant, when you can just improve yourself and then not care about being known as the best. Because again, just calling yourself the best means that there's a title or championship that exists, and that means that there are some others that would have to agree with you on that one.
Yeah, but I mean, I talked
Whereas,
to some of the waiters and they like having me versus other people.
yeah, well, yeah, but that's you trying to fill in a ranking system. Then
No.
that's yeah. Yeah, that's all
See,
you're
this is
doing
why it's
because
confusing. I didn't ever wanna say this to you because it wasn't like I'm not trying to judge your work. I'm saying
no, there's no judgment in work. But what you're saying is that you want a ranking system that exists, and you want proof that you are the best, but you don't want the opinion of others to go along with it.
no, it's not about proof from exterior things. It's just to myself.
Yeah, and then it's
Like,
fine
each
to
day,
think
I
that.
try to be the best wa, and I
Yeah.
feel like I do that often waiter assistant. I feel like I do that often, which in my head makes me the best. But it's not I'm not trying to like, because that makes me when I say it that way, it makes me feel like I'm saying that you suck, which is not the case, or even, like, are lesser than me. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's really confusing because it's not linear, it's not logical. It's just a way that I get through work. It's the best way to explain it is that we're both the best. Like, we can both be the best in my head. I'm not trying to say that I'm better than you. I'm saying each day I do I guess the better I each day I do the best that I can, and to me, because I fulfill all these things and all these customers are happy, that makes me the best. But it's like I said, it's not really a ranking system to me in my head. So I hope it doesn't come off that way. I'm not trying to say that I'm better than you. That's not
I
what I'm
think
trying
it's
to
just
say.
your wording then.
Hmm?
I think it's
Yeah.
just your
Well, I don't know
wording.
what other word to that's just the words that I use in my head because I don't ever, like, talk to them about like this about in front of people, really. I did it once, and it was a mistake because I guess I misworded it, but so how would you phrase it, you
I
think?
don't know. I say do what Naruto does,
Oh my
essentially. Just walk in and he's like, I want to be the best.
alright, well, now you're
And then
speaking my
you go from
language.
there. Yeah. You know? It's
Alright,
about
cool.
wanting to hit that level or that threshold of like, I want to be the best. Who am I? Then you turn into a bit of a competitive. Who is in today and how do I come out on top? You
I
know?
guess that is what I
And it's
do.
to oneself then, you know?
Was I
Because yeah, because then that just proves like, okay, well then every day will be a challenge for me, not because I'm bad at it, but because I'm always gonna be going up against different people. So because of that, well, I need to figure out what my game plan is and how to become the best. Not to be like I'm the best, no, just to say, well, I want to be the best today, and
yeah,
then what do I do to prove that?
that's what I'm trying to
And
describe,
that's where it
yeah.
goes in, you know.
That's the system I'm trying to
Yeah, at the
describe.
point you're no longer ranking people, and now you're
That's
just
why I
having
said
a
ranking wasn't the
friendly
cor
competition with them at this point,
that's why I said
even if it's just for you.
ranking wasn't the right word 'cause in
Yeah.
my head there's, like, different connections in my head that don't quite I don't know the words for them.
Yeah, it's called ADHD. No, I'm just kidding. Just joking.
I thought it was autism.
I wanted to say autism, but I actually didn't want to make fun of it.
It's not making fun
Because
of it, I think I am, but irrelevant at that point.
I'm well, I mean, there's a spectrum.
Exactly.
I generally I still don't know the whole concept of autism. Like
Well, let's not get into
she
that
spoke it
because
to me for like a whole like for an hour straight. She told me like,
yeah, but she's if it's who I think you're thinking of because she walked up to me and said, "Now don't be offended by this. I swear I mean it in this best. Are you autistic?" She said that to me.
oh, that might have been
And
my fault.
I wasn't offended by it. I was like I said, what'd I say? My exact words were, I mean, probably.
That might have been my fault because she was like, I
No,
just
no,
want
this
to
was like
ask.
4 weeks ago, 5 this is the last year. This was
Okay, good because I was generally like,
she's been on this for a minute. Because I think she is. Obviously nothing wrong with that. But I think she's hyper focused on it and figuring out who else is.
well, I chalk it up to kind of this generations of trying to put people in place.
Yeah.
I,
No,
I will
I know what you're saying.
I will say this on a side note. I hope no one really gets mad. I will say this. I know the internet is a big thing. I know people are actually trying to get the internet conversation and all that stuff out into the world, to the actual world. Also, I know the world does not really give a shit about it, and not in a very harsh way. It just genuinely like
Well, it's
there's
still the
a
same
lot
rule.
of
The
other
internet's not
things.
real.
Exactly. And but I will say this in my 2 cents. I think it's kind of funny that I grew up in a generation where a lot of people were like, "Oh, could just be yourself, be out there, and even if no one no understands you, so what? You'll find your grouping one way or another." And I was like, "That's kind of sweet." But now this generation is like, "Well, we're gonna find out where you belong by labeling you with all these terms and all these names," and it makes me kind of giggle because, again, it's not negative because it's not like they're giving you bad names, but it's kind of funny to like look at it and be like, "Wow, you guys really labeled like organized and put labels on everybody." And
I
it
think we
kind
can
of
go a
feels like
little
we went right back to why everybody wanted to not, you know, like not wanted to exist, wanted to not have a name to themselves, and just wanted to, be goofy in their own way because it allowed them to just not care about what others are or who they're going to surround themselves with.
it's interesting. I think I have an explanation of this. It's like an epiphany, but it makes a lot of sense. So we can deep dive on this now.
Yeah.
I think it has to do with this generation being this and the probably Gen Z and Gen
What generation are we on now? Is it
the
still?
newest ones, I don't know, but
Yeah.
Gen Z is from, like, 2010, I think, are still
Yeah.
Gen Z. But, like, my little brother is Gen Z, and he's 21, 22, something like that. Little brother, he's an adult, but anyway.
They're always gonna be little. Shit, I'm little. I'm almost 30.
Did you believe that he's almost 30? I don't believe that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, no,
Thank
it's
God
true.
for my mother and my father with these young genetics.
Anyway, what was I saying? It was a kinda poignant point. So, I think I include us in this generalization. It has to do with we're the information age, but it's also so them trying to label everyone with everything, I think has to do with the fact that they've always had internet in their hands. So they've always been able to, "Oh, what's this thing? I don't know what this is. Let me Google this." So it has to do with always having a label for everything, so they wanna put that on everything. Like, "I don't know what type of shoe this is. Let me Google it." When you're 15 years old. When you were 15 years old, you could there's probably still Google, but you probably didn't have it in the house, right? Or, like, 12 years old?
Yeah, there was internet, but you were talking about AOL. Like you need like the whole
Yeah.
old ass, no one on the phone.
While your
You
internet,
you
yeah.
gotta plug it in and then connect to the
You
internet. You gotta
connect
wait
to the
five,
internet.
10 minutes for it to boot
Now this is
up.
the millennial part of the podcast.
Yeah,
Having to connect to the internet. Anyway,
yeah,
so I think that's what it is what I described, and it makes a lot of sense to me. But I've never thought of that before.
yeah. See, my annoyance came from it was you have the information, all the information in the world, but it does not mean that it's correct, and it does not mean that your sources are correct.
Yeah,
And I
that's
think
the
that's the biggest problem with it is because again, when people do try to do the Twitter talk out in the actual world, it gets thrown out the window. Why? Because your credentials, every source you pick, are just people, and in the end, it is a formed opinion, a grouped form opinion,
yeah,
and
Twitter's
that's
the worst.
and that is what aggravates a lot of the I don't give a fuck group. The biggest group of all, the I don't give a fuck, because they rather listen to facts than listen to an opinion, even if the opinion is backed up by someone who is in the field. It is one opinion versus the thousand other that they want to listen to.
I've said this for years, and I got berated, I guess, is a way to say it about it. What was it? I was having an argument with an old roommate, and it turned into them saying opinionated things, and I was trying to make I must not be very good with words, because I was trying to make the
No.
point that I was trying to make the he said, "No," if you didn't hear.
Yes,
I was
sir.
trying to make the point that if you don't have facts to back up your opinion, to me, it's a lesser opinion. I think that's what I was trying to say. And that back then, it was less obvious, but nowadays with Twitter and stuff, opinions bad opinions rule the world. And so back then, the idea of a bad opinion kind of was weird because, opinion's opinion, it doesn't really matter. But to me, this whole time, it's always been if you don't know everything about a subject, your opinion means a lot less to me.
Another side note.
Uh-huh.
This is why I always believe school is important, because all of this crap is just what we learn in school. Writing a report. I remember my best report was, writing the report, and then at the bottom, I forgot the whole thing.
Yeah,
But you put your sources, you put on the internet, you give them the link to all the websites you get it from,
yeah,
and I would be graded harshly. With like, well, this is more about based on the report of opinionated,
yeah.
and then versus like, oh, this is a genuine, like this is backed up, this is like almost like a governmental website you found. Good job. This is based on more than just factual. This is written evidence and fact. And but yeah, in this generation, I don't think a lot of people do that. And another issue that I think happens is the Twitter thing too. Is when you try to again use people on this, that doesn't work. Why? Because people can block information, can delete their the tweets, and they can also just
Can't you edit
change
tweets
their
now?
accounts. Yes, you can now edit. You can also edit, and that's why a lot of people want more factual things now, because all these opinions are not going to really matter. Why? Because remember, it's altered. It can all be changed.
And another thing people often say is that schools didn't teach kids to learn. They just taught kids to write stuff down for a test. And that's a lot of my age and our age group doing that, but I disagree because I learned how to think from school. I learned how to question things from school. So maybe either they had bad schooling or they just didn't pay attention enough to do it.
It's both. One, yes, teachers are important. They do justify a lot of the means, and they do actually push not just one class; they push the rest of a generation forward. So teachers are important, and they can and will fuck you up if they do not give a shit.
Should get
I've
paid more.
been both on that. The second one, along with it, is on the students themselves. I have a little story. No names. We're gonna keep it there. Let me know if I overstep or we speak on anything.
We're about to run out of time, so this
Oh,
will
really?
probably be the last story.
How
Well,
many? How many minutes we got?
probably like 7.
7. Okay, I'll be a little quick. So in seventh grade, I took a sex ed class. This was the first class in a long time that sex education was actually prominent in public school.
Same.
I wanted to get the principal award. So I had to not just ace the class, but I had to go above. So we're talking about 110%, 120. And yes, I mean what I said. I took the class. I watched the birth video. I saw the pictures. I looked at it. They're like, "Can you find the spot?" I'm like, "I would find everything, bro." All right, what's this thing? What's the ball in the middle? That's the you know what I'm talking about. The ball.
That's the beginning of the
so
podcast. That's the
so
beginning.
with all that,
You know how I cut into the beginning? That's the beginning.
yeah, you can flip. You take that shit. Yeah,
Go
get
ahead. Sorry,
everybody in.
continue.
This will be the first minute. Let them enjoy it. I took the class. I passed the class, and I felt great. Class was canceled next year because two kids got pregnant, and they blamed the sex education for teaching them that stuff. Now here's the bullshit part. I do remember those two kids. They did get pregnant, but they were never in the class because the classroom itself was right here, and the fence was right there.
It
So
was like a
technically speaking, if you hid behind
it
her
was like a trailer
classroom,
class?
yeah, no. It was the building right
Okay.
here, but then the door exit there. I mean, and then the gym was right there.
Yeah.
So technically speaking, if you were to hide around that area, you can literally jump the fence and go around. And this was still that time where I don't know if cameras
Start
were actually
banging, yeah.
that useful or helpful, but they were never there. They still blamed the teachers, and obviously all the administrations got involved and all that, and eventually the classroom was never seen again. This is what I mean. You can teach people and you can teach them a lot of good stuff, but someone will fuck it up for the rest of them.
Literally.
You know, yeah, literally. And it's always that nightmarish mentality too. Because a side note, after that class, that's when I started dealing with the teachers who are like, "You guys are far behind. You guys are not gonna pass. You know, you guys can't even. You guys are my worst class out of the other classes I get." And you don't want to listen to that. And then they get pregnant. Then the teachers get pregnant, or they impregnate, their wives and stuff. And then they're gone for the next 6 months. And now you're just sitting there with a substitute who's looking at the chart, and they're like, "Why the fuck are you in quarter 2 while we're just about to finish the school year?" And then come high school, we're taught like, "Okay, so you guys should know this by now," and we're all just fucked because no one knows this. None of one of us is gonna learn it.
Some of them are fucked literally.
And some of them, yeah, some of them gave up. Why? Because there was no point in even trying to learn what 6 months of work after 2 months of vacation, and are told that we have to take a test at the end of the month. So these are the moments that if either makes us or breaks us.
So I guess we'll end on this. Because I have a similar thing. When I was in 3rd grade, I was homeschooled.
Oh, really?
I was homeschooled from, I think, 2nd to 3rd grade. So when I came in and it was poor schooling. But
He
what's
did not
happening?
like that joke.
Anyway, so yeah, so I what was I talking about? 3rd
Third grade,
grade.
you're homeschooled.
So I missed a lot of math. And when I got into 4th grade, I didn't know anything. I didn't know like the times tables. I never learned those. And when you
Ooh,
said, huh?
that's bad.
Yeah, I never learned them. It wasn't a thing we did in
Home.
home.
Oh,
So when I got to 6th grade and they were like doing all this algebra and times tables, I just started failing stuff. And I failed math one quarter or one semester. And we had to take, actually, no one knows it. My parents don't know this. I, uh, I had to get a signature done for a failing grade for a semester, and I forged I forged a signature for math class. The only signature I've ever forged, and it was because I was failing math. But at the time, I didn't realize what was it was because I didn't learn that in middle school, and so I just but as anyway, so I could have given up there, I guess, and just started failing everything. Um, I guess, learned a way around it or something. I don't remember what I did, but I didn't fail the year, so
I mean, but that's the thing about us. Like, again, why deal with getting ridiculed when you can find like an escape route or something like that? And that's what a lot of us did. You probably found your way to get out of it to the point where like they were like, okay, fine, you qualified, so get the fuck out of here.
yeah, that may have been where I started learning my solving skills, because
Yeah.
I don't think I cheated. I don't think I did, but I don't remember.
I used to have a lot of bad problem solving skills because I was that one kid that was trying to study and trying to catch up to the other classes and wanted to, take the honors, but never got the opportunity. So I was like, well, then eventually I got my burnout. I was like, well, then why the fuck bother? If I'm gonna be stuck with the worst classes ever, then why even try? Why be the one kid to pull everyone behind if that's all we get is one little push? So why do I matter in this? And then that was the worst lesson I ever got from high school.
Well, lessons learned.
Yeah, lessons
Ja
learned. You get
Jason doesn't
better.
matter.
But you do.
I don't matter. You matter. You're watching this right now. To the end. Thank you.
We don't matter, but you matter. But you matter.
I can't do the wide for both of us
You're
to say
you're the
bye.
super goat or
Imma
whatever
go
they call
change
him.
the lens. He's a dog owner, as you see in the background,
Yeah, I'm gonna
doggy
take her for a
dog.
walk. I don't know if she's okay.
She's fine.
She probably has a tummy ache.
Thanks for watching. Come back next week. Hopefully, this comes out in the right time. It's gonna be HD.
No promises. Don't worry.
The next one's gonna be 4K. No promises. I've been Dylan.
And I'm Jason.
Bye.
And we do mean it. Y'all take care.
Oh,
All
wait.
right.
I'm gonna fade out on you. Ready? Say something nice.
Oh, we do mean it though. Thank you for stopping on by. It does mean a lot to us, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your
Oh,
day and night. Take care.
we got two for now. Bye. I still like the fade out, the
I
physical
did
fade out.
too.